Hello everyone! Welcome to another Saturday Night Factional Fight Plays Wurm Online. My name is Brian, this is my brother Adam over there. And today, we're back on Epic. How do you feel being back on Epic? Hey!
Fine. I mean, I feel like we haven't even left.
Yes, we haven't.
Or have
anyway.
we?
Anyway, we're going to catch you guys up on what we've been doing on Epic, and we're going to go into a little bit of what it takes and the skills necessary to be a competitor in the PvP field of Epic. We'll get into more of that after this. Let's do this. Alright, we're back. And we are here on Epic, like we said, and I want to fill you guys into what we've been doing here. Maybe let's go. Last episode, or at least last episode, I think we were mining into our mine. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, we had finally gotten a bunch of carts and found a place and opened up our mine and realized that...
And then I was going to analyze the rocks and we were going to find the iron, and then we realized I didn't really have enough analyze skill to really make it useful to find the iron. Yeah, so
the other issue was that it's the thing that we combat every single episode, is that things in Wurm seem to take forever in comparison to the amount of time that we have to record them. So we were thinking, yeah, we'll just like mine in, find the iron vein, and yeah. And then it's like hours later.
To the point where I couldn't take it. I had to jump back through the Epic portal. So I'm glad that I made it, because we've been able to jump back and forth a lot.
That's right.
But since then, I realized two things. One, that we figured out where the iron ore is. So we just kept going this way.
That's right.
It was actually pretty far.
It was farther than we thought.
Yeah, and there it is. The iron vein. And you know what I learned? The second thing that I learned? There's a closer one if we just mined the other way.
Really?
When we came in. Yeah, we haven't even uncovered it, but I just prospected outside, and there is another one if you just mine that way. Anyway, but that's not what we did. So, live what we can.
We kind of went a little bit overboard crazy, but I think our overboardness kind of turned out lucky for us.
Let's show exactly what happened. So we have Chonk, who came with us, and he's our leather worker, and I guess he decided to make us tool belts. He had to do some cloth tailoring, so he made a loom for himself. I guess this is sort of his area of leather workingness. We have a lot of bulk storage bins here. Which is great. Your signature 2 forge setup, although you seem to like 3, but I don't want to give you a third one.
I think that
2 was enough right now.
And now, yeah.
So we made your big forge room. Everyone's been using this room. It's a great room. Has everything that we need. What else did we do? Then I decided we need a place to skill up Archery, which we'll get into in a second. And in order to skill up Archery, I wanted like a lot of space. You know, you need a lot of tiles in between you and the archery target. So I decided to start mining this way. And I mined pretty far. Let's see if my lantern... No, it was on.
Oh man, my lantern has quite a bit of damage on it.
Gotta remember to heal it. And at the same time, we're like, how are we gonna get water? Because we're not really that close to like we have a lot of small barrels, and the trick that we had, if you don't have silver or gold to make yourself a pendulum, really our trick was to take a large cart and to fill it up with small barrels, and to just go to the water, go to the lake or whatever, and fill them all up, and bring it back.
Right.
And that lasted quite a while, until we just kept going. And here you guys can see we did eventually find a water tile.
But actually, it's kind of a funny story, because we didn't find that water tile first.
No, because there's no way for us to build a pendulum first.
Yeah, in order to find a water tile, you need a pendulum, and in order to build a pendulum, you need silver or gold. So we got right down to this last tile, and
yeah,
I think you analyzed the rock, and even with your like crappy analyze,
it says, there might be a slight trace of gold around. We're like,
yeah,
gold around? What the heck? And we went 2 tiles this way, and there's our gold tile.
There it was.
Yeah.
And it's on Epic. I found out recently that on Epic, gold and actually all the other ores that are not iron have a cap of 50, regardless of the. What's that?
If we're like,
if you're on Epic,
if you're on the home.
Oh
servers.
yeah, if you're on the home servers, that's right. If you're on the home servers, then like copper, tin, lead, everything like that, gold, silver has a cap of 50.
Then how many servers are there that don't have that cap on Epic?
I think there's only one, and that's Elevation.
It's only Elevation?
I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Not that it makes that much of a difference, because those metals don't really have that much use in terms of, I mean, aside from aesthetic purposes.
How about
like
steel,
lanterns
then?
Well, steel is still iron.
It's sort of iron, but not. I don't know.
It's iron and charcoal.
That's true. It's iron, so it would have the cap of whatever iron and
that's right.
can become. So that's what we did on the inside.
Yeah.
What did we do on the outside? Basically, we were getting kind of just pissed off at the wilderness and the alert crocs that were all around. So
yeah, we couldn't leave the cave.
We couldn't leave the cave for a while. I am still diseased. If you want to see my my screen right there at the bottom, diseased right in my event window at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I got diseased, and we just live in this cave, and I can't seem to get my disease off. Let me see if I can. There it is, diseased. I'm of the 57th power of diseasedness.
Whatever that means.
I don't know. But I heard that I have to keep topping off my food, and I think being in a cave doesn't help. So we decided, what did we decide to do? Build a guard tower.
Yeah, we were kind of a little crazy.
Let's just build the dang guard tower. And the first thing we want to do is to go out there, build a small fence that we could just decay, that we just let decay. And
we needed the fence because we couldn't really be out here for more than 2 seconds without getting attacked.
That's right. So we went got all the mats. I think you went crazy on the stone bricks, and you just like, we need 500 bricks. All right, 500.
Yeah, I think I did that in one sitting.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, we already have 500 bricks. Got the clay, and we built this thing out here. A little like resting spot. We built the fence around it, and said we're gonna put a guard tower right in the middle of this. So we were able to bring a cart out and be safe to mostly everything, other than humanoids can walk through fences. So trolls and goblins can walk through fences that are unlocked, and we couldn't lock them because there is no copper around here to make extra keys. And there's not one of us that could be on all at the same time, so we can either lock it and make it so no one can enter unless that one person's on, or we can just keep it unlocked and have the chance of trolls or goblins attacking us. And we chose that route. I think a few goblins did attack us, but overall it was pretty safe. Yeah. And we got the guard tower up, and luckily my masonry, because of imping all those forges and all that stuff. I got my masonry to 36, which on Epic means that my masonry is...
You're asking me?
Yes.
We have like calculators on the internet to figure that out.
Yeah, something around
somewhere
50 something.
Yeah, 50 something.
So I was able to get the guard tower up to 50s, in the 50s, and get our 5 guards. After we did that, we thought, okay, we have our horses and everything. We're all getting diseased. Like, we had at least a horse that was diseased, and a bison got diseased. I just let it go. 'Cause why did we need it after we got enough horses?
Right.
We need to get these guys out and into a pen. So I decided I'm going to make a pen for these horses. And here it is. We were able to plant all of our vegetables, and so far we've been doing a pretty good job of keeping up the farming. I know Nasili decided to be our farmer, and she's doing a good job trying to grow our crops. I think when we first started this, we may have had a quarter of this pen full of crop, and that was like all of our stuff. So eventually kept farming and filling the place up, and our horses are doing good. That was I don't remember if this was our disease one, probably not, but that horse died, unfortunately. But we still got a bunch of horses. I did these tall stone walls here because I thought maybe that could be the start of our wall if we wanted to enclose all of us in. I don't know. But I don't know what the plans are, but that's what I did. And in the distance you see Chonk's house. He started building his house. So other than that, I think that's all we did so far. We planted this. This is the first time we've actually seen like a big chestnut tree.
That's right, because there was a bug there for a while where they weren't growing.
Yeah, so I planted this chestnut tree initially.
Right. Yeah, right at the beginning.
Yeah, to try to remember where our mine was, because we tried to make it so no one could tell by getting rid of all the corpses and cleaning the place up. Yeah, that didn't last very long.
No.
Our place is a mess. And maybe I should go get a horse. So other than that, I think that's everything that we've done. We did get a couple messages from people.
In a variety of ways.
So thank you for finding us here, I guess.
I knew after making that episode that we gave quite a few clues away, like for example that lava. There's not many lava tiles in this place, and when we looked up and saw that deed up to the top of the mountain, that sort of gave it away. It's kind of upset about that.
So thank you for those messages.
Yep.
And I think over I know we decided to say, you know, that I want a little shorter episodes. You will like the really long episodes, and unfortunately, I made the mistake of asking that question at the end of a long episode. So I think it was a little unfair that everyone that answered was already at the end of a long episode, and of course, there's like those are the people that stuck around and long episodes. But yeah. Long episodes,
there was quite a few people, though. Quite a few people voicing their opinion about long episodes, so it's at least somewhat popular.
You win. But
I think we'll still do a mix, depending on the topic.
I do like the mix. Like the mix. So let's talk about combat. Combat. What? We've already done combat. We did combat in on Epic. Not on Epic, on Freedom. I mean, just not even mentioning the episode that we did about fighting, but talking about that we just as characters leveled up our combat. What is the difference between leveling up there as opposed to leveling up on Epic?
I mean, I'd say that the biggest difference is that when you're on Freedom, you're focusing on skills that are going to get you successful at killing, you know, NPCs.
Just like the wildlife around, I guess.
Yeah, NPCs are kind of stupid they don't really react to anything that you do. They run up to you and they stand there and attack at random intervals.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so to combat that, it's not really that difficult.
I guess
Uh,
what you would want to do is be able to pound them as hard as you can, meaning
yeah, and that's
people
fast.
love two-handers against them.
That's right. Two-handers are the big. I would say that if you're on freedom, use a two-hander. You'll kill things a lot faster. Um, there's no real reason to use a shield.
Mm.
Um, so that's kind of out of the question. And archery is kind of a silly thing because of the amount of time it takes to invest in making arrows and leveling up your archery skill.
If you're an archer on freedom, it's because you really, really love archery.
That's right. That's right.
Not
Because
because it's like somehow beneficial in any way.
That's right. Unless you're on chaos, of course, because archery and just shooting a bow in general is a really has a lot of advantages in PvP.
So you're saying that's not the case on Epic at all?
On Epic, it's completely different. Archery plays a vital role, and so everybody skills up their archery. Everybody gets really good arrows and a good bow, and that is a big, big thing.
And that's another reason why shields are also a big thing, and because
That's
the best way to stop arrows flying into your face is to get a big shield.
that's right. And so
So now
that
shield skills become important, and
yeah, that right there adds two skills that you pretty much have to skill up if you're hoping to do PvP. And this goes for Epic and Chaos.
alright, so if I was on freedom, the first thing that I would think is I need to get my fighting skill up. So
That's
I'm going
right.
to go out there and I'm going to kill as many animals as possible with a two-hander sword to get, because the only way that you actually gain fight skill is when the animal dies,
That's right.
and you gain a bit of fight skill. So you have to kill as many as you can, basically, to get as high as you can. I don't know if you want to talk about before that, and you want to talk from the very, very beginning with
Yeah, because I think that you're bringing up a
stalls
point.
and that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, you're bringing up a point that we brought up before. There's that notion that you can come into the game and the first thing you do is take your newbie sword and shield and walk up to the first thing that you see and try to kill it. And I talked about that guy who would do that over and over and over again and then did a rage thread on the forums about how this game sucks. And I think he completely missed the point because you can't do that in this game. You don't start out with the skills necessary to fight. I mean, I think the main characteristics, or the main things that you need to worry about are your characteristics. That you start out the game with practically nothing, and
This is
you
a
want to.
survival game, number one.
It's a survival game, so the first thing that you should be doing is running until you get to the point where you have the opportunity to skill up your characteristics along with certain other abilities like I guess your normal fight skill. So these are the sub skills within your fighting. So normal fighting, or if you choose to do defensive fighting, but I would recommend against it. If you're just starting out, you should always be in normal stance and get that skill up to like 20, 30, whatever you can before you actually go out and try to kill stuff on your own.
You remember back in the day, getting, what was that game called? You remember the first ever Age of Empires game? Remember playing that game?
You mean like
The first one.
Okay,
That's the one that I
I
played the
remember that
most.
one.
And
Okay.
remember, like, you start off with nothing. You start off
Yeah.
with like a few pawns, and you make them go out and kill deers or something, and you get their meat and you bring it back, and you start there, and you just keep growing, and you grow larger, and you grow a bigger town, and but you start from nothing. That's Wurm. You start from nothing. You don't go out and kill the first big thing or even anything that you can, because you can't. You have to start somewhere. Actually, if you in this game, you start by you need to craft your gear or get somebody to craft your gear. That's like step 1.
That's right.
Right there. Then step 2 is like you can finally, possibly, if you got those items up to a decent level, like even 20. I think as a new player, you can get all of your gear, if you work at it, to at least 20. And if you do that, then you can kill like the small things like deer and pigs and wildcats.
Maybe wildcats, yeah.
And those sort of things. But even before that, I don't know. I just thought maybe that was a good comparison. But yeah, it's not. So let's talk about what would you do. I come to Epic.
Yeah. So what
What
we did before anything was get our body control to 21. The advantages are like nothing else. It's a very hard grind, but number 1, you get to ride a horse, which immediately increases your combat rating. Combat rating we talked about before. I don't know if we want to go into it again, but
Sure.
essentially it's a hidden stat that determines your ability against something else. So like every mob and character has a combat rating, and if you have even 1 combat rating above the thing that you're killing, it's like you have an extreme advantage. So just being on a horse gives you combat rating. If you're not on a horse and you're on a higher ground than the thing that you're killing, gives you +1 combat rating. So things like that to know is very, helpful.
Okay, so
But yeah,
keep going.
body control was what we did first.
Yeah, so
And
personally, how did you get body control up?
I did it in a variety of ways, but the main thing I focused on was archery. Taking a whole bunch of arrow shafts, which are relatively easy to make. I probably made about 400 of them for myself this time on Epic. When I was on Freedom, I probably had about 1,000. And I would just take a bow and shoot them at an archery target over and over and over again. It doesn't take too long. Sometimes it feels that way, but you want to get to 21 minimum because it allow you to ride a horse, and also body control is a big factor when fighting, I'm told.
I think it's hard to get your body control up from just with archery. I found that it's very hard, and you need like another skill that also gets body control up. And in our case, I think it was mining. Did mining get our body control up?
No, mining doesn't.
It
do
was
body
something.
control.
What was it?
So it depends.
Maybe it was carpentry for me.
Yeah. So all of the crafting
Leatherworking,
skills,
I know. Yeah.
all of the crafting skills will give you
Blacksmithing.
body control, but it's not as good. It's really not as good as archery.
It's not as fast, but it
not
will.
as fast.
The problem
But it'll
with
give
archery
you that extra oomph.
is that eventually will stop giving you body control. If you just did archery, you will not get to 21 before you get to, what is it, 30 or 40 archery?
You know what?
30.
I found that on Epic you do.
You think you do? But I think all of us had that other skill that also gave us body control.
You're right.
Chunk had leatherworking, you had blacksmithing, I had...
But let me put it this way. I have 22 body control now, and I still haven't maxed out my archery. I can still get body control through archery.
And I only have 21.18.
Yeah.
And my archery is 30.
You can go up to 40.
Are you sure?
With archery. Yep. It's 40 for archery, and I think it's 30 for the sub skills.
So my sub skill is
lower.
25 for short bow.
Yeah. So you... And then what you would do is when you get to 30 for short bow, you would switch to medium.
All right, so let's look at this. Do we have any extra bows?
I have a couple on me.
I might need one, unless you can remember where we put all of our bows.
They could
I lost
probably
them all.
be
But
in.
okay.
I bet you it's in the coffin.
Oh, good call.
We need another coffin, by the way. That one's pretty full.
Here's a long bow, and here's a short bow. I'll take both. Do we have any?
Arrow shafts?
Well, both arrow shafts and bowstrings.
I have bowstrings on me.
We've already created our mess. Look at this.
Yep. Yeah. This place doesn't have enough storage for us, I don't think.
We came here and we're like, we're going to make sure we're starting fresh. We're starting with nothing. We're going to organize this place. We're going to be able to, like, organize with all the vast experience that we have on Freedom with, like, being unorganized and knowing what we need to do. We're going to have this place organized. And then we just fell right through.
That's right.
We just didn't even try anymore.
Yeah. Okay, here, I have some arrow shafts for you.
Arrow shafts, some
And a
bowstrings.
I have
Gonna need
2.
more than one. So bows are pretty easy to make, right? It's only like a carving knife and a log, I think.
A log, yeah.
Is
Sure.
that right?
Yep. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's just a carving knife and a log, and you can just make one.
And that skill goes up pretty quick.
Oh yeah, that's
too.
that's a good skill for body control.
Yeah.
Imping bows, imping arrows.
How many do you want? 25 would be good.
Sure. So I built this place, I mined this out, and you guys started helping out so that I can create enough room, and I thought 10 tiles, or I did like 11 tiles, and I said this should be enough for if we want to raise our short bow and our long bow. So,
And our medium bow.
and our medium bow. So that's what I did. I did 11 tiles, but you were telling me.
Yeah. I was great with the short bow. In fact, I would just stand like 6 tiles away. Or 10 tiles. But when I went to switch to the longbow, it was like I wasn't getting any skill, and I'm thinking it's because 10 tiles is the minimum range for a longbow, and the optimal range is about 20 tiles. So I think that you will gain better skill with the longbow if the archery target's about 20 tiles away. That's what I haven't tested it yet, but I was just finding I probably shot about 50 arrows or arrow shafts, and I got maybe 1 or 2 ticks of skill.
So now we can't level longbows here.
I know.
We're gonna have to figure something out. But short bows are fine.
Short
Like,
bows
we
are
can
fine
stand
for now.
here, and I think that I do not have a string. So you need to make the bow. You need to make with the rope tool.
Oh yeah, how do you make a
A
bowstring?
You
What does that
just need
take?
Wemp and
Okay.
a rope tool.
wemp and a rope tool? Here, I have a couple bowstrings here.
Or have a brother that has a bunch of bowstrings for you.
Yeah.
That will work too.
I know it does seem like a lot of stuff to do, but this is what
Yeah.
Wurm is, right? Like, you got to get a rope tool. We already talked about rope tools early on in our episodes. You got to
Let's
like
go
you
back
got
to
be
the first
foraging.
epic episode.
Yeah, you got to be foraging for stuff, and nowadays you'll find Wemp very easily, whereas when we started back in the day, you know, when we had to walk
Yeah.
uphill both ways, Wemp was so hard to find.
I personally thought that I didn't see the problem with starting archery on Freedom, but I kept telling people, and we've been telling people a lot, that the best way to level body control is archery. So we get all these new players in the game asking us that question, and I'll tell them that, and they'll start getting an archery target, and they'll get set up, and they'll just keep asking questions, and they'll keep saying, I remember this one guy kept saying, like, he thought that archery was completely bugged.
Yeah.
He couldn't figure it out, and I'm like, I couldn't comprehend, like, how complicated is it? But I guess it is. It has a lot of steps. First step is you don't need to equip the bow when shooting at an archery target, but you do need to equip it if you're going to shoot it at a real person.
That's right.
2 is that you can't shoot more arrows at an archery target. I don't think that works. You can only shoot arrow shafts.
That's right.
So in order to create an arrow shaft is you make a lot of shafts, regular shafts, and then you put the carving knife on the regular shaft, and each shaft can create 10 or something like that. So it's quite a lot.
Yeah. You get a lot out of a log, let's say.
Yeah. So then they kept they couldn't shoot the bow. And I'm like, did you create bowstrings? Did you string your and they couldn't figure out how to string their bow. So really the process is just to activate the bowstring and right click the bow and string. Make sure there was a couple, make sure it's not equipped. I don't think, or there's something that makes you stop stringing up a bow, and that, tell you the truth, I can't remember what it was. There it is. So now it should actually tell you
that it's strung.
That it's strung somewhere, but I can't tell because I'm getting a lot of spam from Adam.
Anyway, I think it tells you if it's not strung. That's
okay.
For sure.
Maybe it tells you when it's not strung. So now you just have to have arrow shot. You don't need a quiver. Although
you don't need a quiver.
And I don't think they shoot from a backpack. Either that or they don't shoot from these new groups.
I don't think they shoot from a backpack. You have to have them in your inventory or a quiver.
I don't have a backpack, or do I? Or do I? Not seeing a backpack. Anybody see a backpack in my inventory? Any of you guys looking at my inventory?
No.
Apparently I don't have one. Okay. So
That's
I can't test that, but I don't think it works.
I've just tested it and it doesn't work.
Okay. So other than that, you make your archery target, which is fairly simple these days, but back in the day, when we started, and it said add mixed grass to your archery target, you're like, mixed grass? What the heck is that? Where do I get that? And you look it up on the wiki. It's like
botanize.
Found on steep when you botanize, but not exclusively. Like you get it once in a while, rarely.
1 in 20 botanizing.
Now you just go outside and cut any grass and you have it. So
with a sickle.
Yeah, with a sickle. So it's a lot easier to get mixed grass. So then you just stand here and you do what Adam's doing.
Yeah.
Just right-click the target and target.
Now there's a trick to this.
There's a trick? Okay, I'm stopping until you tell me what the trick is.
Yeah, this is a tip and trick. It's actually a really good one too. If your stamina bar is lower, you gain more skill per shot. The action timer is longer, and that whole action timer thing, longer action timer meaning more skill, works for arrows as well. Now this is a perfect skill to do this for because you have a limited number of arrows, so it's not like, shooting them all, like you shoot 100 arrows and half of them break. You want to get as much skill per arrow as you can. And so it's worthwhile to lower your stamina. The way that I do it usually when I'm doing this is I'll carve out a couple arrow shafts I'll have a bunch of regular shafts. I'll carve out a bunch of regular shafts until my stamina bar goes down to less than half, maybe even like a quarter, and then I hit my climb button.
Hit your climb button, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take...
Once your climb button is on, your stamina won't regen, and you can still shoot your arrows during while that climb is on.
Yeah, I wish I had some steep hills to go up. I'm too lazy to go out this cave, aren't I?
Why are you going so slowly?
I got my climb up, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, get your stamina down.
Take a regular shaft. This is the best way. Take a regular shaft, cut a couple arrow shafts out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Your stamina bar will go down. Keep your climb on. It won't come back up.
That's a good idea. So get a log, make a shaft, or have some shafts, and just do a couple skills. I know what I can do. I can do a pickaxe. A pickaxe action. I can mine. Here we go.
That's right. Get that stamina bar down.
Watch that stamina bar go.
Keep your climb on.
Alright. So let's say I've got it to about 60%, or not even.
Even more. Go more.
Alright, one more.
Because the thing is that you're going to be shooting a whole bunch of arrows, and arrows barely take any stamina away. You want it to be long action timers. And at any moment, you can click off that climb, get a little bit of stamina back, and click it back on.
I'm just gonna go from 40%.
You know, one of my oldest strategies was when I was skilling up things like this or mining, or I wanted to keep my stamina low like this, I would keep my water bar low as well, so that every time that stamina regens, it's like it regens very slowly, so I can turn my climb back on, you know, and only get a little bit of stamina back.
So do what we all do naturally, which is not refill our water every 5 minutes or something.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Get a little bit of water left.
So climbs on. I've got 40% stamina. I've strung my bow. I've activated my bow. I have 25 arrow shafts, and now
just go to town over and over.
Go to town.
Yeah.
I will
queue
go
it all
to
up.
that town, and I will shoot arrow shafts at it.
And this is where you can go to turn on some television show, Netflix.
Netflix.
You know, like just have like a ton of arrow shafts ready to go, and just do this over and over.
Yeah,
again.
and pop your sleep bonus.
Pop your sleep bonus.
If you have sleep
help.
bonus, which we don't have that much anymore.
I'm not sure what you would.
Bed. Or
what
house.
would you put COC on if you were to put COC? But your bow?
The bow, maybe? Maybe you guys can answer. Does putting COC on a bow actually do something? Not that we have a priest here, but just for future knowledge, I'm sure I'm sure putting COC on a bow,
yeah, I'm pretty sure that
or will not do something depending on the comments down there.
Yeah. I did read a thread a while ago. I can't remember what it said though, but there was like, if you put a cast on the bow, certain casts go on bows, certain cast goes on the arrow. It's kind of strange.
Can you imagine casting on each arrow that you shoot?
Oh, another interesting thing that I found out, I didn't know this before we went to Epic, was that the bowstring, the quality of the bowstring increases something.
The
damage.
Length of how long it lasts?
No, the damage of like your shot.
The damage of the shot?
Yeah, it's like the bowstring itself plays a role.
If that's the case, then really they should tell you what the quality of the bowstring is that's on your bow when you examine it.
I know, let me just...
But it doesn't.
I could probably find this out in 2 seconds from the Wikipedia.
Anyway, how's my skill going?
Quality of the bowstring affects hit chance and the chance that it breaks. So it's not damage, it's hit chance.
Oh.
Which is still pretty...
Then it would be nice to know what the bowstring is. And there should be maybe a way to unstring a bow. Is there a way?
You can. Yeah. You can unstring it.
You can unstring it. So we already have that option. So we just need the option of being able to tell what kind of qualities on bowstring qualities on the bow. But we can't. So with my skill window, if people are wondering, I don't know, were you wondering whether how to get so what I did was I made it so I can see every single skill tick action. I don't think that's default. And you can change that in the settings somewhere. In general settings, I think. We haven't done this in so long. I don't even remember where you do that.
Oh, it's in text.
Text. It's in text. I'm pretty sure Adam just had to do that because you just got your computer fixed. There you go. That's why. So there's a skill gain tab update, and you can make it like always, and then you get every single update if you're crazy about that sort of thing. Oh, also something that I didn't realize, and I think archery is one of the only skills that seems to matter. If you look away, boom, it just cancels everything.
Oh, I did not know that.
Because every now and then my hand will, I don't know, will just twitch and I'll just look the other way and then I'll wonder, why isn't it shooting arrows anymore? And that's why. But here you can see that I am still getting archery skill. I am still getting short bow skill. So you're right, I guess archery does go up to 40. And the sub skill, which is short bow, does go up to 28.
I'm pretty sure that when it comes to PvPing, short bow is kind of useless. Or not useless, just, I mean, the ideal range is 5 tiles away, but at that point the guy's going to come in on you anyway. So I think that it's ideal to get your longbow skill up.
So now we need to figure out how to get a longbow range, I guess.
Yeah. Well, more mining, or we can go outside, I guess.
Yeah. So we'll figure that out eventually, and I guess I'll shoot the rest of these 6, and as I shoot the rest of these 6 arrow shafts, maybe you can say, okay, let's say I finally got my arrows, my archery to a good level, and I did get body control to 21, I can ride my horse, I can do all that wonderful stuff. I guess we have to pick what weapons we want to use and what shield, and I assume that we should pick a shield, because eventually we want to have a shield, and we should pick a weapon. And you know what I want to do? I want to let you guys decide what weapons we both should use and what shields we both use, and we will use them during the next episode. We'll read the comments and we will tally up the votes and or pick whichever one we want. No, we'll tally up the votes, and you can pick one for Adam, you can pick one for me. You know, could be anything, like could be medium maul or medium maul. Could be, you know, large shield. I don't know, anything you want. Just pick something. I don't know. Well, what is your preference?
The thing is that I'm pretty certain that amongst the PvP community, they have determined what is the best weapon shield combo.
Have you guys?
I really don't like the sound of that, because I don't like that everyone is forced to get that one. Like, from what I hear, it's a longsword. Then you have like an army going up against another army, and everybody's using longswords. It's just kind of lame, in my opinion. I feel that all the weapons should have advantages and disadvantages and be on equal footing with one another.
All right. Well, let's pretend we didn't just hear what Adam said. Pick anything that you guys want for us to wield, and we'll try to get those up. But other than that, a shield is a shield at this point when you're just trying to skill up shield skill. Right?
I don't think that's true either.
Well, anyway, let's say we picked a shield. So
okay.
we have a shield. Now what? How do I get my shield skill up?
Okay, so shield skill is a kind of annoying skill to get up. And I read so many guides that say, oh, this is the easiest skill to get up, but I've spent personally.
And it must be the easiest skill to get up. You have to believe the guides.
And maybe I'm doing it wrong. I've followed a few things I've read, and I feel like I'm doing it wrong, because I've probably spent about 2 or 3 hours just doing, like, standing there and doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at, let me see, what am I at? Shield skill.
Let me get a shield now.
I'm at 6. So in 2 hours, I got to like 6. I couldn't imagine what it would take to get to 30 or 70 even.
This one has my name on it. Okay, so you're saying... I'm just going to put this on. There we go. So you're saying that you can't figure out why...
In that same 2 hours... Yeah, in that same 2 hours of doing the exact same thing, I got over 20 normal fighting. So normal fighting goes real fast doing this, and I really appreciate the normal fighting skill because it has helped me kill stuff. But the shield skill, man, I don't know. Maybe it starts going faster after 10 or so, somebody was saying. Because shield skill will go up every time that you successfully block, or it has a chance of going up every time you successfully block. So here's the strategy.
Yep.
Find one of these innocent animals.
Cute deer, or squiggly pigs.
Pigs.
Or what else?
There's a few others that you could probably use,
Horses, if you want.
horses or cows.
Bison, cows.
Bison are a little tough, actually. Yeah.
They've got thick skin.
If you can take whatever it is that you can stand in front of and take their abuse for as long as you can, you want to put on a good amount of armor. You want to make sure that you unequip a weapon because you don't want to kill it. All you want is for the thing to attack you over and over and over again, and for you to just stand there and take the abuse. Because every so often you will successfully block and get a chance at getting that blocks or that shield skill.
So you're saying you unequip your weapon.
Unequip your weapon.
You don't have a weapon on. You equip a shield.
Equip a shield and a full set of armor.
Full set of armor. And then you just start attacking.
Yep.
The cute animals.
Yep.
Like so.
And then again, at this point, you would go again to Netflix. Or watch all the reruns of...
I think you got to make sure, especially with shields, to click your shield bash. I assume that you can probably... it's probably a hotbar.
Yeah, I also
have you done
clicked that. I clicked that thing. I didn't actually make it a hotkey, but I clicked that shield bash as much as I possibly could.
Yeah.
And let me just see what that skill is at. It is at... I think it's under fighting, right? Shield bashing is at 1.98.
1.98?
Yeah, I must have hit that thing about... in that 2 hours.
Mine's
maybe
3.4. Take that.
Yeah.
I also did this. I've got normal fighting at 24.
Yep.
Shield bashing at 3.
That's right. That's about the rate at which it seems to go.
Maybe. Do you think we need to be in defensive fighting, or does that have anything to do with getting our shield skill up?
I actually tried defensive fighting for a little bit, and I got a bunch of defensive fighting. Maybe actually at first.
Raised your shields faster though.
No, I didn't. I have 10 defensive fighting, and then I got to the point where I was like, well, I really need normal fighting. Like,
yeah.
Normal fighting is what's gonna get me to the point where I can start killing stuff. So I just switched back. I got to 10 defensive fighting. It didn't seem to help that much. I'm still only at 6 on my shield. Now, one thing that you have to be clear about is that the shield's skill is not gonna do anything for you. It's the specific sub skill. So you're right now using. You're using a large metal shield. That's right. That's the skill you're looking at.
And I have 4 in that.
4, yeah.
That's
so
not a lot.
You're gonna let's just count the ticks for what you're getting. You're just standing here. How many times does that go up? Has it gone up yet? Like, scroll over it.
No, it has not.
No, it hasn't. Okay, so it might take up to 5 minutes before your first tick. It's kind of an annoying skill.
Well, I guess
now the thing is
keep
that
going. Maybe you guys have a better way of doing it.
Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know, but this is how the guide seemed to be saying to do it, and if it is, I will end up watching a whole bunch of episodes of stuff while doing it. Because another thing is that eventually your health, right? Like if you watch your health bar,
Yep.
You're wearing a full suit of armor, but eventually
I have
your
to
health.
watch my health bar.
Yeah, it's not so bad because that 10-minute. It's almost like once you disengage combat, you get a health tick because you've been in combat for so long. I feel that happens.
And with these animals, you really only get maybe very light to maybe a light
Yeah, yeah.
Wound.
And it's like you get a ton of them, but you'll never get a meaty wound from these guys.
And we don't really have the cotton to spare right now.
That's right.
We've almost wasted all of ours.
Yeah. So you'll step out of combat if you've been doing this.
I got a tick.
Oh, nice. You got a tick. Yes.
I'm up to 4.
How long we've been doing this for? But 1 tick.
The tick was 0.09.
And again, I feel that people have commented on certain threads that I've read that once you get above 10 or so, it starts going faster because you're only going to get a skill tick when you successfully block, and as your skill gets higher, you block more often.
One of those type of skills.
That's right.
It's like taming.
So, yeah, it's like taming.
Only get a skill up when you are successful at taming. So maybe the animal type also changes how much you get.
Maybe, but right now you're fighting one of the easiest animals there are.
That is true. This or a pig, I don't know which one's...
This or a pig, or... I don't know, there might be a couple others that are...
We've tried both.
We've tried pigs, we've tried these... It really depends. I think we just have to rough it out until our skill is 10. And then it'll start picking up.
Alright, so this is shield skill. What we're doing. Shield bashing, when you shield bash skill. Shield skill just by doing this, and you also get fights, the fight style. So
Normal
fighting, or whatever mode you're in. And I guess that's about it, really. I mean, you're also getting body...
What kind of characteristics are you getting?
Body control, mind, speed...
Yeah,
in very small, and weaponless fighting, the most important one. Yeah.
Mind speed apparently is a characteristic that does nothing except for fighting.
Oh, so it's good for fighting then.
So it's good for fighting, and body control is very important for fighting too, and also to help ride horses. So this is something that you can do to hit a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah, it's not bad. So now, let's say I do this a lot and we do get our shield skill up and all that stuff. Now how do I get my regular fighting skill and regular fighting weapon up?
Yeah. So the other, so you're basically pointing out a couple things.
Okay.
The last couple things that we are kind of needing to do. Let's do let's just talk about the normal fighting for a second. Because fight skill is really the big thing. That's the one that's gonna take the long.
You get a practice doll, right?
Yeah. Hey, well, okay. Before you start, normal. We'll talk about the practice doll in a second, but the normal fighting
practice doll.
My feeling is that what you're doing right now is what I would do for normal fighting. Like I would just do this over and over and over again. And your normal fighting
for normal fighting skill
pretty high. Yeah,
but
and
you
that's
really want the fighting skill.
Okay, so for the fighting skill, this is a tough one, especially to start. A lot of people say get a practice doll.
You would say?
I tried it a couple times. I gave it a couple tries, thinking, okay, people must be right, I think. But apparently not. I really believe that the practice doll takes way too much time.
You know what I did a couple tests, and what people always say is get a practice doll and take a shaft or something because and then use the shaft on the practice doll and do that because it's not going to damage the practice doll as much. So I did that.
That's right.
I took a shaft and I was beating at the practice doll, and I was looking at the skill ticks, and it was going up maybe like 0.02 or 0.03 or something a tick.
Yeah,
and
but rarely
and then
too.
I'm like, oh, okay, let me go get the weapon, like a weapon. I got like a maul or a sword or something, and I started hacking away at the practice doll with that. And yes, the damage was going up faster, but I was also gaining more skill.
That's right.
Per tick.
You'll gain a lot more skill with an actual weapon compared to a shaft.
And personally, I would recommend to get that practice doll as high as possible and to just hack away at it with
If you're gonna go
a
that
sword.
route, yeah, use a sword.
Because then you gain the skills, like also you gain the skill of that weapon type. So if you're hitting with a longsword, won't you get longsword skill? I could be wrong.
Yeah, I know you get that skill.
Which is what you need as well. So look, why waste time with shaft? Why waste your time? You know.
That's right.
Just hit the repair button.
By the way,
remember to hit that repair button.
That deer isn't gonna die, is it?
No.
Okay. Just making sure. Are you?
I am walking really slow
for some reason. Why?
Maybe I need to get rid of the shield. It's really heavy.
I don't think that makes a difference.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think it's gonna die. It's just wounded, I think. But you didn't have the target window up.
How is mine doing? See, very light wounds.
Yeah.
That's what you get there. I got 1 light, but I just got a whole lot of very light.
Yeah.
So not bad. I think I'm gonna take my.
And did you get that skill tick? Or no? Or that, not the skill tick, but the heal tick?
I don't know. Anybody that's watching this can just like rewind it and find out if I did. But I don't think we wasted that much time on it. But you were saying, so practice stall, sort of.
I don't know. I spent a couple hours on a practice stall. I tried the practice stall for a couple hours, and I was just like, I got to maybe 4, and I was just like, forget it. Like, this is kind of ridiculous. So I find that it's much better to just go out and kill stuff. Like,
then let's do
work
that.
work on your skills. Get normal fighting up this way to like 25, 20 is probably good enough. Get body control up to 21. Get yourself a horse. You know, create armor. Get a nice, weapon. I would recommend, if you're going to start out this way, probably a 2-handed weapon, because they deal quite a bit more damage.
Get this, I got damaged enough that now I can't ride the horse. I am not agile enough. And I think for riding a horse, it's when you get damaged I think it's your legs. Either that or your feet. One of those two. And if you get damaged enough on your legs or your feet, it's probably legs, considering I have lots and lots of bruises on my legs. Maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. It's either the legs or the feet, or verify it.
Yeah.
But if you do that, then you can't ride a horse. And I know for commanding a cart or commanding boats and stuff, if you get hit on the head, and this happened to you.
That's right. That's right.
And you ended up dying because of it.
I had I didn't.
Oh,
die.
you didn't die. That's right.
I had Chunk Lord in the back, and he got some aggro on him.
You were riding a cart, and a hell horse came up behind you and hit you on the head or something.
No, a hellhound. No.
It
Really, this is exactly what happened. I got hit by something while I was on the cart.
Yeah.
And that doesn't kick you off the cart. Like, if you get a head wound and you're on the cart, I think you stay on the cart.
So you did something that you thought was smart at the time.
Which was when we found our first little area, I went to go prospect some rock. So I got off the cart, but we had a hellhound. I didn't see the hellhound, and Chunk was sitting in the back of the cart, and so I went to go prospect, and then Chunk started getting hit. So I was like, "Oh crap!" So I went back onto the cart, but I couldn't get back onto the cart because I had the head wound, and Chunk ended up dying. That sucked.
We can laugh about it now.
Yeah, we can laugh about it now that
Chunk died.
But he had to run back.
He had to run back. Yeah, that run really, you know.
Okay, so there's a couple things that you can do for fight skill. One of them is to sit by a tower guard and kill stuff.
You gain a lot less fight skill for that.
That's gain a lot less. That is the truth for sure. I would say that
it is safer.
It is much safer.
So in
any case, find a tower guard. Yeah. So
back up my horse.
Yeah, backing it up is a good strategy, so you can run away.
I gotta get really close to this guy. There he is. He's come alive. I'm gonna get him sort of in a good spot. And now I'm gonna call the guards. Let's call them. There we go.
Guards with an exclamation mark.
Or just yell
Or just
help in
help
local. I
in
have
local.
I have a hotkey for it.
Yeah.
And
Then
now-
you run up to it and just attack.
One thing that I noticed is that if you are on higher ground, this foot will turn green. Your footing gives an advantage.
Mm.
As
But I think
opposed
that when
to
you're on a
not giving
horse-
you an advantage.
I think when you're on a horse, you don't. Oh, you do gain. It's green when you're above, even
Well,
when
at
you're on a
least
horse.
this changes.
Yeah. In any case, I don't know whether
So let's
you
see.
get double the
So
advantage.
you do get normal, your normal fighting skill, and fighting increased by 0.01.
4 for me. Yeah, 0.014.
So
Which is not very
now
much.
let's figure out. Let's kill this venerable gator without guards. No, we can't do that.
No.
How about this troll?
A gator might give 0.3. A troll, I heard, they upped the amount.
It
like-
is quite dark over here. Do you have your light on? Yes, you do.
Yeah. They've upped the amount that trolls and crocs give in fight skill, but we can't take that
We
on.
can't kill them yet.
So
it's-
really what we're looking for are things like goblins, wolves.
how about spider? Can
cave
we kill
bugs.
spiders?
We might be able to kill a spider now.
Let's try to kill a spider now that we have
Wait, what's your
some
fight skill?
10.
Okay, good.
You have 10, right?
I have 10 as well, which is what you would need to probably take on a spider with 2 people.
All right, let's do it. Wait, how damaged are you? Are you fine?
Not damage.
So
I'll
you
go in on
tank it. So Adam will go in to tank it.
Yeah,
I'll give him a couple hits.
this could be dangerous, actually. I haven't tried this.
No, it won't
really.
be dangerous.
You don't have a
me.
weapon on, by the way.
Oh yeah, I don't have a weapon on. Ah. I don't
Yep,
have a one-hander weapon, so for this, I guess I'll put on a two-hander.
Better start going quick, because my health is actually going down quite quickly.
Going,
I'm at
going.
67.
All right.
Oh, there we go. That's a good hit. There we go. Okay, whew. It's getting worried there for a second.
So let's look at our fighting. I just wanted to see the difference.
I'm gonna have to run, by the way.
All right, go ahead.
Get that last hit in.
Where'd he go? Oh, he's on me. That's good. He didn't chase you.
That's good. Let's see if I can help you get that hit in there. There we go. Okay, so let's see. I got
0.12. Wow, that's
0.12.
a big difference.
It's a big
like,
difference.
Yeah, I got 0.1 as opposed to 0.01 for the same kind of mob.
Hmm.
So you can kill 10 spiders over by the guard tower, or you can kill one spider.
By yourself.
It's
Yeah.
probably more like 8 spiders if you take in
Yeah.
all the other numbers, but 10 is a better number.
I really
yeah.
don't think spiders are what we could do. I think 20 is around where you can
I'm
do spiders on
thinking
your own.
wolves right now, goblins,
Wolves, goblins,
um,
cave bugs.
cave bugs, bears, like this one here.
Bears are probably a little hard too.
Bears are probably a little harder. I
We're
would
gonna
not
have to-
recommend bears.
Tank this one. I'm probably on the dying. If you look at me,
You're bleeding.
bleeding. Yeah.
Please don't die. Do you have anything medium? You probably
Yep.
have a medium.
I have a medium and a whole bunch of lights that are pretty bad light ones. Like in the 12.
So that also gave 0.12.
Yeah, see,
Not
that's the
bad.
thing. I find bear and you know what? If it's divided amongst us, so like if you did it by yourself, it would be double that.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. So, if you were on a cart or if you cared enough, I'm sure somebody will come back and pick these up. You would be butchering these and bringing back the stuff like we probably should, but at the same time, I don't want to. So, No,
Yeah,
I'm sure somebody will come in.
yeah,
Get the
we have a
stuff.
couple people who want to work on butchering skills, so
Yeah, take your pick if you want the safe route uh, without needing the
cart.
risk of getting hit and needing cotton and all that junk. Train them to a guard. There's tower guards kind of everywhere, especially on Epic, and just do it that way. It's the safer way. Or if you're a little more adventurous, make sure you have healing covers and the like. You'll also get your healing up, which I assume is a big part of Epic 2 healing things.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
And is that it for fighting? Do you have anything else that you want to add?
I mean, fighting is probably one of the more difficult ones to start. You want to find a lot of little critters and avoid the big ones. It's really, really just a pain in the butt. But once you get to about 10, you can start taking on a wider variety of mobs, and it just goes up from there.
Yeah, so that's the fighting episode. There's a couple more things that I'd want to add in the end here. Number 1, I want to pick a path on Epic.
Oh, yes.
And Adam wants to pick one. I'm gonna get you guys to decide what path. What path should I join? I don't know what path I should join. I joined the path of love on Freedom for basically to have a refresh, which is something that I enjoy. And here, like, I'm always starving and eating casseroles. So should I get it for the refresh? It doesn't seem like I should. But the
Also, the enchanted grass doesn't seem too PvP-ish.
Yeah, there seems to be some other paths. So which one should I join and why? Let me know. And priesting. Should we become a priest on Epic? Does that even make sense?
Or should we bring alts to make priests? I mean, I have an alt on the other server. That's a priest. Is that beneficial here? I'm pretty sure priests play a big role, but I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if I want to get a priest up. I didn't want to get a priest up in Freedom. I don't know. But should we be followers? And which follower should we become on?
For sacrificing for rares, I'd say that might be just worth it for that.
And the last question, should we, and I think I kind of want to do this, we're debating whether we should go to elevation and when we should go to elevation. So we know, we wanted to show you guys what it's like to start here, and really what it's like to start here is that there's just a lot of wilderness. If all those freedom guys, if you're complaining about that there's no room out here in any of the freedom servers, go to an Epic home server. There's lots of wilderness there. There's a lot of room to build, and there's just that tiny small possibility that you will get raided. There's not, like, we never see anybody really.
And I feel like it feels a lot like Freedom over on the home servers.
Yeah.
And
other players on your kingdoms are pretty much like other players on Freedom that are part of your kingdom, which is everyone.
Yeah, they can't really do it. Like, people on your own home server can't really do anything bad to you. You're pretty protected, and even when the raiders do come, they get a combat rating. What's the word? Debuff. They lose 2 combat ratings. So if you get your combat skills up, then you can pretty much take them out. Get a group together.
That's interesting. And I've seen them come a couple times, but not towards us yet, luckily. And so the only thing that you really need to worry about is maybe protecting your deed a bit better. Like those open deeds, don't really see them here. So if you really want to have an more open deed, then Epic's probably not for you. Yeah. But other than that, if you want like a closed deed and that extra security, I don't know, the Epic strategic value that Epic has on a home server, which is basically strategizing the best kind of deed that's going to protect your token.
That's right.
As opposed to with freedom, you just have, it's what it's called, the freedom to do whatever, to build whatever you want.
The other thing
it's elevation.
the other thing that I would miss.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I would miss would be the market. There's a lot more money to be had on freedom, I'd say.
It's true.
In terms
it's
of selling stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So the second thing that we guys want to show you is eventually PvP, and so we do need to get our fighting skills up. We will get our fighting skills up based on your recommendation of which shield and weapon that we should use, and after that, we do sort of want to go to elevation where we hear the PvP happens. So when should we go to elevation? Let us know when we should go.
Yeah. Should we go right away, or should we wait and get our skills up a little bit more?
What do you want to see next? We will do what you want us to do next, and that'll be the next episode. So I don't know. Adam's feeling a little under the weather today. I don't know if you guys noticed. He has his throat, and so I'm gonna let him go early.
All right.
Is this early? I don't know if it's early.
I don't know.
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care, guys.